All right. So I covered the readings, the quantitative assignments. Next up, I covered the midterms and finals. Next up, your journals. I don't know if anybody's seen Wet Hot American Summer. There's like a scene in it where Paul Rudd is like, or the woman from the Mighty Ducks is like, what are you doing? And Paul Rudd goes, writing in my journal. And the person goes, do you mean journal? She goes, and Paul Rudd goes, sorry, I guess I'm not smart like you. At any rate, that was stupid. I don't know why I went on that aside. Your journals are worth 12 points. You have to do 2 throughout the semester. Each one's going to be worth 6%. They're going to be roughly equal difficulty. And they're just kind of, prompts that I ask, and I can pull up an example journal that I have. 1 second, just bear with me. So, as of now, I call them response prompts. You can ignore that. I got to kind of update them a little bit. And here we go. Come on, slide in there. All right, come on. Maximize. Here we go. So this will be the first journal. So I got like this YouTube link from like this random British TV show called, I think it was like Steel Balls or something. And after I go through this lecture on what's called the Hawk and Dove model, it's basically a test to see, do you understand kind of like baseline economic assumptions and how they apply to the real world. In this one, there's no math. In some of them, there might be math. There's one on the minimum wage. Let me see if I have that. Where'd that go? Is this the minimum wage? Yeah, here we go. I'm going to have to make it bigger. We'll close out of this, John. So there's one on the minimum wage. It's got a little bit of math. Not a whole lot. Basically, like, I shouldn't say math. It's more like graphing and like how to graph logic, basically. And then explain it in words. So like, response prompts are going to, I call them response prompts again. Your journals are going to be a little bit harder than the discussion sections, but they should be, an easy 6 points. And like, they're not going to, like, if you're having a rough time, they're not going to be graded such that, like, if you drew consumer surplus in the wrong section, you're completely off. You're getting a 0 on this assignment. Nah, they're going to be like, more or less, do you understand the broader picture, how to apply economics to real life in some sort of quantitative fashion, but where the math is kind of secondary, if that makes sense. So kind of like a midpoint between your textbook assignments and your quantitative assignments. Some of them won't have any math at all. Some of them will have minimal math. But it's more or less like, do you understand how quantitative logic applies to real world questions? So for like the minimum wage one, for example, like if you hike up the minimum wage to $15, that's actually going to take away from the profits of businesses, and it's going to redistribute them to the profits for employees, right? So businesses that might not want to, so businesses that have costs, let's say above $15 per product, might have to leave the industry, right? And that might have knock-on effects on the overall economy, such that prices increase and, consumers of the product are actually worse off, that kind of thing. That's the kind of logic I want you to apply there. So it's not the same as the textbook, which is more like, what does a minimum wage do? What is a minimum wage? What's a price ceiling? What's a price floor? It'll be like, if the minimum wage is 12 goes from 12 to 15, what are the repercussions? And graph them. Do your best guess at a graph. Don't stress on them. I might even, depending on how it goes, like if you guys, I might make them worth another 2% extra credit if you do above the 2 required. So you're welcome to do that. In my experience, people do the 2 and then they just like, I don't want to do them anymore, and I get that because I am asking you to do a lot of work in the course. I understand that. But if you want to, like if you're not doing so hot in the course and you've done all the other assignments, yeah, I might allow you to do extra journals to get another additional bump in the course. It can't hurt you.